Are you ready?
Yes.
He's ready. It's too loud already. Sorry.
No. It's good.
All right. This is the Jon Peckman Podcast. I'm Jon Peckman. We're here at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance in beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, start looking left. If you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe and hit that bell so you can get an alert every time we do this. We are here today with the one and the only, one of my favorite singers in the whole world. I'm saying it officially. That's why you're here. Mr. Joe Grieco. Mr. Joe Grieco is here live and in person. There he is.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello. Keyboard player, singer, songwriter, plays everywhere, pretty much anywhere. Anywhere that there are people to be entertained.
Anywhere they'll call me. Yes. I'll show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want to so where did you grow up? We'll start at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Hometown, Preston, Connecticut, small town.
Oh, wow.
Out in the woods. Had 32 acres of land.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Dad was an aspiring songwriter, singer.
Oh, wow.
And Mom played piano in church and sang. And they both wanted to be musicians.
Mm-hmm.
But Dad died young, so he never was able to accomplish that. And then...
what did he play, your dad?
He was just, I think he was just a singer. I never, he died when I was 5, so I didn't really get to see him much. But I heard one of the neighbors actually told me a random meeting at a diner. He goes, your dad was an awesome singer. It was pretty cool.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder if anybody could ever know if you sound like him. I wonder.
I heard,
there's
a recording.
That'd be interesting.
From when he was in the Army. I actually have a recording, and he actually sounds like my middle brother.
Oh, wow.
On the recording anyway.
Oh, that's wild.
But it's like a 78 that was redone, and so it's kind of hard to tell if that's really it. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So growing up in Preston, out on the farm.
Yeah, we had chickens and stuff. Yeah, it was country life. But we had there was a small house that I lived in when I was a really little guy, and then my dad, before he passed away, he built a bigger house that we moved into.
Oh, cool.
And then a little house became my grandparents' house for a little while. Okay. And then my grandmother moved in the bigger house with us, and then the house was open, and that became the band house.
Oh, so you were the guy with the band house.
I was the guy with the band house. It was awesome. It was great. So I had all my stuff set up over there, and the drums could stay set up. And the amps and stuff. So everybody would make the drive out to Preston. We had lots of land, so not too many neighbors could hear us, so we could play loud. And
that's important, kind of.
Yeah.
We had suburbia surrounded by houses, but our neighbors were cool.
Right.
So my house, and that actually makes a huge difference.
Sure.
Because the neighbors could end your career before it begins, just like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's something to be said for that.
A couple calls to the police. And then you're done.
Yeah.
But so did you used to practice at your house too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
nice.
Mine was the house, just because the neighbors were cool, and I could just keep my drums there. So.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, when I lived there, that was the place.
Your mom's fantastic.
Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah.
So how did you start keyboards? Is that your only instrument, pretty much?
I play some guitar too, but that's more a side thing. So yeah, when I have 2 older brothers, and we were all taking lessons when we were young, and they told me that what used to happen is they would practice and hated it, and then I would get up and play their stuff.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh, okay, he seems to like it. We'll stick with this. And then because my oldest brother had a band too. He played bass guitar.
Oh.
And sometimes he would leave his band stuff set up around, so I would get to mess with that.
Yeah.
And
until he found out and beat your ass or whatever.
No, he was pretty supportive. He was pretty good.
All right.
And so he had guitars around, so I would play some of his guitars.
Oh, all right.
And so that was fun. So there was always music stuff around. Always music. And I used to play piano with my middle brother and my mom, and we would sing around the piano and harmonize and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So
it's kind of wild.
Yeah, it was fun.
When did you settle on, you were like, okay, piano or keyboards is going to be my thing?
Pretty much right from the start. I mean, I played we had a band in 8th grade.
Okay.
And then
What were they called?
People liked it. Decades Behind.
Decades Behind.
It was funny. We played the school dances and that stuff, and then when I went to high school, I was kind of a jock. I played football. And all that
Really?
stuff, believe it or not.
Wow.
It's kind of
that,
weird.
See, this is why we're here. This is why we're here to learn things that we would never. Wow.
Yeah, I loved playing football.
Awesome.
I was like a big.
Did you beat up? You probably beat up kids like me in high school. I was the kid that got beat up.
I didn't. I started out that way, but then I had an unfortunate accident where I lost a kidney.
Oh.
And when I was
on the field?
in 15, actually I got hit in playing basketball.
Oh wow.
And it messed me up pretty bad for
Oof.
like
Brutal.
I was in the hospital for a while and so after I left the hospital after a few weeks, then then I looked like a completely different guy. I wasn't the jock anymore.
Oh,
I was
boy.
like 110 pounds or something
Oof.
stupid like that.
Wow.
And then it was like, okay, curve.
Yeah.
I look at it as somebody
Wow.
was telling me, nah, football's not for you.
That's
you know?
interesting. Wow, that's kinda
music. So I
wild.
just stayed with music after
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you didn't even get the kidney punch in football.
No.
In basketball.
Basketball.
Wow.
Yeah. An elbow. Yeah.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
God.
But you know, it was a
That is
blessing in
interesting.
disguise. Blessing in disguise because it sent me into music.
Did your
Yeah.
brothers play sports too? Was that it, or you just
It was
decided?
just me. That was my thing.
Wow.
Actually, my middle brother.
I can't
take that back.
picture that.
Yeah, I know.
That's so funny.
I know. It doesn't. It's not me. By the time I was a senior in high school, I remember I was the last guy picked. You know that thing?
That's yeah.
You
I
know?
was the last guy picked from first grade on ever. So yeah, I know the feeling. Wow.
But like I said, it kind of steered me.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't. I mean, because
Yeah.
you're still playing music.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Still.
still be playing
I'd still
football.
be playing football. I mean,
You-
my head would probably be a mess and all that. Yeah. all
Right.
that stuff.
And then you
Yeah.
think like with sports, it's kind of a hard road. It's like you have to go all the way when you're young.
Yeah.
Or you
Yeah.
you can't do what we do, like
No.
kind of.
No.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it
That's
was
wild.
it was a blessing.
So then it was.
Then it was full in. We had a band in high school. I met some guys. My mom sent me to St. Bernard because it was a little better. My oldest brother went to NFA and kind of messed up, and then my middle brother went to St. Bernard and got straight A's. So
What's NFA?
NFA is an Orange Free Academy high school. It's
Okay.
actually a really great high school. It's like a college campus. It's huge, but there was lots of bad influences there
Oh,
too.
boy.
And St. Bernard was
And this
smaller.
would have been what year?
This was in the 70s,
Oh
early
boy.
70s.
Okay. So
yeah.
everybody's
So
partying.
yeah, there was some partying. So I went to St. Bernard, and when I went there, I met some people in the Montville area. I started playing in bands out there,
Ah.
and met some fun, really nice people out there. And then from there, I met some folks. Well, the bass player was my friend that we grew up in Preston, but then we met some guys from like Montville and Mystic, and some of that areas, and then started branching out. And, and
Wow.
and then the drummer from that band, he went on to have this agency, this booking agency called Flash Groups.
Oh yeah.
Which they
Sure.
used to book you, yeah.
Yep.
So he was my drummer in
Wow.
our band.
Mark Janello.
Mark Janello.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
So yeah, Mark was a drummer, and Mark hooked me up with this piano teacher named Alesh, who was this Czechoslovakian escapee.
Oh boy.
He was the coolest guy
Oh,
ever.
really?
Oh, I loved the guy.
Wow.
And he taught me so much great stuff.
Really?
Yeah. That was
Wow.
that was when I was really like gung ho.
So that was your guy.
Yeah, he was my guy. I
Wow.
would practice 2-3 hours every day.
Wow.
And,
Hey, good.
and
That's awesome.
Oh, it was really a great musical time for me. And having all the gear at the house.
Yeah.
You know, I could just walk next door and
Yeah.
put in
So you're
no
putting it
distractions.
together. You're like, this is it. It's making sense
Yeah,
now.
and so Mark really helped me with that guy.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was cool. So
Yeah, that's great.
from that, and then just kept going. From
And what
there.
was the gear back then? Like a B3 or
Oh
what did you
yeah,
have?
I had a full lineup. We were talking about B3s and stuff. I I actually had a Hammond C2,
Okay.
which didn't have percussion.
Okay.
But I had that and a Leslie or two.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Rhodes.
Oh, okay.
I had a clavinet.
Mm-hmm.
I had this old combo organ which I used as like it had a pretty good string patch, so I would use it with like a echo.
When it's time to play Nights in White Satin or
Yeah.
whatever, you bust that out or whatever.
and then I got one of the first Oberheim synths.
Oh,
it was
hey.
a 2-voice polyphonic.
Oh.
And it had an 8-note sequencer.
Whoa. Yeah.
It was fantastic. But yeah, it would be, so I had 5 keyboards.
Wow.
A guitar rig behind me, so I could play a couple guitar songs as well.
Oh, that's cool.
And a bunch of Space Echo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where's that now?
Oh God, I wish I knew where some of that stuff was.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the tape. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, with the tape.
Even I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rolling Space Echo.
Yeah, you turn it on the next day and you're.
It's still there.
It's
Yeah.
still there.
The gig last night is still there. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah, lots of that.
Did you start singing right away? Did that happen?
That was young, but it kind of, when we had the band with Mark, that started out as a 6-piece band. We were going to be like an Almond Brothers kind of band. We had 2 drummers, and nobody sang.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of got, I sang the least bad out of everybody.
Really?
Yeah. But back then, what I was into back then? I was into Leon Russell.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought Leon Russell was so cool.
Sure.
Yeah, he was so cool. But I sang kind of like that too. It was real nasally thing. And
wow, that's funny.
I did a jam with some guy, and he goes, "Hey, do you have a cold, man?"
Like, this is the way I sound.
Yeah. So it took a while to get things happening. But
I grew up with my parents had a lot of cool records. Mad Dogs and Englishmen is one of my first records I remember ever hearing.
Oh, it's just great.
And that's Leon Russell.
Yeah.
And I always say this, like, in some ways we live in the worst of times, but in other ways we live in the best of times. I found a box set that's like Mad Dogs and Englishmen by Joe Cocker. It's an album, in case anybody doesn't know. It's a live album, but that's at the Fillmore, and they did like a 4-night run, 2 shows a night.
Yeah.
And that album is a composite. I have a box set that's got every show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I spent like 2 weeks listening to everything. And it's cool. It's kind of cool, and then you go, oh, that's the take that's on the album, and you can kind of hear it, but you can just hear them, it's pretty cool.
Oh, that must be great.
Yeah, it's wild. And then you start to get we can't. Remember I said about pacing? Now I'm going to eat up the rest of it.
No,
but like I listened to it, I'm starting to figure out, I'm like, oh, okay. So when Joe Cocker, because then you start to hear it, and you're like, okay. So when Leon Russell gets off the piano and goes on the guitar, Chris Stainton gets on the piano, or Chris Stainton's on the organ, but I'm starting to hear how, oh, I get it. Okay. So there's these 3 songs in a row, because that's when Leon's on the guitar.
Oh, okay.
And then anyway, but I start to unravel the whole thing, like, oh, okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, Leon Russell, I'm right there with you.
Oh, he was just so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the look and everything. I actually had hair back then. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, it was great.
You're like, I'm going to look like a wizard. Funny.
That's
Did you
right.
look like a wizard? Probably. Let's find. We gotta find that.
Actually, we had in that band. I remember doing things with, like, I don't know. We had
chicken feet or something.
something goofy. I forget, like some sparkly thing or something. But yeah,
that's awesome.
Fun times.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah.
So you came into the singing like later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Did you when did you? I'm being honest, because you're a great singer. When did you realize? Or do you not even know still? You still think you're just...
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to sing. I really do. I absolutely love it.
Did you love to sing before?
Always loved to sing.
You just didn't have the... You didn't have
I didn't have... what I heard coming back, I didn't love. But I always loved singing. Always loved it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Like I said, when we were kids, we used to sit around. And I loved harmony singing, especially.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
Wow.
The best when you got like 3-4 voices.
Sure.
Everybody's singing together, and they hit
Yeah.
that chord. It's like, oh,
You're like home. It's like
yeah.
you're
It's
at home.
the best. It's the best.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So then you started singing a couple of songs in the instrumental band.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I kind of got, yeah.
were you ever like the lead singer? You must have been at some point.
Yeah, most of the bands had multiple singers that
Okay.
I've been in. So, but I guess that band with Mark, I was pretty much the lead singer. Yeah, because Mark didn't sing. Mark would sing a couple songs. Believe it or not, Mark would sing. Mark Gentola would sing a couple songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then Mick, the bass player, would sing a little, and the guitar player sang a song or two. But then the rest was me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Did you? So was there any point where you were just like, I'm going to take singing more seriously, or it just happened? It just evolved.
It just kind of evolved.
Yeah.
It just kind of evolved.
And then you're like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
the singer.
Yeah.
Do you think of yourself as a singer or a keyboard player? Or you don't think about it like that.
Yeah, I don't really
They're both.
compartmentalize.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's just kind of I'm a musician. Yeah.
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 That's funny.
Yeah.
So who are some of your vocal influences beyond Leon Russell? Like when you started.
Well, afterwards,
Grabbing
then
it.
I started listening to Michael McDonald. He
Okay.
wanted that big sound, and
Yeah.
they don't have the range he does.
Yeah.
But the soulful guys,
Yeah.
the soul singers, the Al Greens,
Mhm.
and I got to play briefly in a band, mixed rate. I don't know what would you call it. It was a funk band. It was this guy, the singer from New London. His name was Bonnie Floyd.
Okay.
And he had a band called the Untouchables. Actually, yeah, I think he might have had Wimbish in the band briefly
Oh,
for
wow.
a while. It was a great band, but they hired. It was a great cultural experience for me after growing up in
Out on the
cow
farm.
country.
Yeah.
The only reason they hired me at that time was they needed a couple white guys so they could play some rooms.
Oh,
Or some
that's
rooms
brutal.
they couldn't play because they
Imagine that.
wouldn't hire an all-black band.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Imagine that.
And I
in the
liked them.
70s.
Yeah, in the 70s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's a drag.
Yeah, but by playing with them, this guy was such a soulful singer. He was great, and he had a bass player and guitar player from New Bedford who were both really soulful singers too. So I was around that a lot.
Yeah, just to kind of open up and let it fly.
Yeah, singing with them. So they'd pick a couple songs for me to sing, and singing in like some of the bars in Hartford.
They're like, let the wizard sing one.
So that was fun. That was great. So I got exposed to the more soulful angle there, and it was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Playing music the whole time. Did you go to college or school?
No,
yeah,
no,
me neither.
I
just doing it.
Yeah, just doing it. I went briefly to like a community college after high school.
Yeah.
But it just never really clicked for me. And then I got a call from a band out in Highland Falls, New York.
Okay.
And the guitar player was from our area, from Norwich area.
Okay.
But he had joined the West Point. He was in West Point. He was in the Army band.
Oh, okay.
And he was their recording engineer, and he was living in West Point.
Oh.
But he had a band there, and they were looking for a keyboard player. So I went out there, and so I did that gig for like a year, and I lived in Highland Falls, and that was kind of like
cool.
my. It was almost like being in college in a
Yeah,
way.
right. That was like you're away from home.
Away from home.
Yeah, doing it.
Yeah, and doing it. And
Wow.
they were such a cool band. But that was another learning experience too, because they were ridiculously talented. This guitar player sang his ass off, looked kind of like Daryl Hall, and sang kind of like Daryl Hall. Really, really good.
Yeah.
And good drummer, a good bass player. They won this Battle of the Bands for WABC or something in New York, and got a recording deal, and they never showed up to do it.
Wow.
They were like, nah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Their favorite thing, their favorite thing to do at the time when I was playing with them was to smoke pot and look at the fish tank and listen to Close to the Edge. That's what they would do. And they were great.
Maybe that's what they were doing that day when they were supposed to go make a record.
They did it for, that's very possible. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a good learning experience too. And, the old work ethic thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So then you finally...
I did that for about a year.
And then you're like, I got to get back.
Then I came home, and started playing with other guys.
Wow, what a
here.
bummer.
Yeah. It was really, like I said.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah,
You see that in the biz sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. And
You know?
I actually bizarrely ran into that guitar player like 30 years later.
He's a fish salesman.
He works at Alto Music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sweet guy.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like I
yeah.
said, great player and really nice guy. But yeah, he just stayed there and I mean, did fine.
Wow.
Life.
That's
life.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is. It's like as we get older, I sometimes think about all the times in the past when you thought you were going to make it. It would have been over by now.
Yeah.
And unless you make enough money to disappear completely,
Yeah.
we would just still be hustling.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you reach a certain age and you go, well, it would have been over. Let me just live my life now.
Yes.
You know, like if they got that record deal,
Yeah.
how, you know, well, I mean, who knows? Maybe they would have been galactic superstars.
Yeah.
But
yeah, when I played with Silverado with those guys, they had they had a couple of records. They had when I was with them, it was on their second record on RCA.
oh wow! All right, so when's this? This is
That's-
after Long Island.
Yeah, after Highland Falls, I came back and I got this gig with Silverado, and
Okay.
the guitar player was from my area, but they were Hartford-based guys,
Okay,
and they had a record.
and this would have been when?
This was
Early '80s or something.
Yeah, late 70s, early
Okay.
80s. Yeah. And they had a record deal on RCA. They had this one song called Hide Your Love, which actually got played by Casey Kasem. It was
cool.
a hit pick or whatever.
Yeah.
So they were almost there. They were
yeah.
so close.
Yeah.
And we did college showcases, and we did a couple, we did this one concert in Rhode Island at one of the colleges there, like 10,000 people. That was huge.
So you were like,
we were one of many bands, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm there.
this is the
it.
beginning.
We
This
did
is the beginning of the thing.
recording sessions in New York City.
Wow.
And it's like, oh, this is the deal. And I did that for a year, and then it wasn't. It
Right,
wasn't.
started-
It was. I mean, it was
Started
a good
staring
experience.
into the fish tank again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh boy.
So then went on to another band, and another band. And
Yeah,
That's
well,
what happens. But
I
yeah,
did the same.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
you know.
You know.
So, but good experiences. All good
Oh
experiences.
yeah. Oh,
Interesting.
believe me, I wouldn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything. But yeah, it's just always leapfrogging one
Yeah.
thing to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you get a little taste of what that success is like. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're fine. We've been working musicians our whole lives.
Yeah.
We've been really blessed.
I can't complain in the
Yeah,
end. You know,
yeah.
when you get right down to it. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess like a whole bunch more money in the bank would. I guess, but I mean, my days are pretty cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't know how much better it, you know.
Yeah.
Said if I knew that I had more zeros behind my bank account, would that change this right now?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
All good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
So you're just then you just band to band to band
Yeah.
through the 80s.
Yeah. The Silverado.
There's still
thing-
a scene like you could play.
Yeah, the Silverado thing, we were playing a bunch of colleges and bars, and then I joined a band with some of those guys. We started our own band for like a year. It was called The Last Band. We thought that was going to be the last band.
Oh, this is it. This is the one.
Which of course it wasn't.
Right.
And then I joined High Times with this guy that I played with back home in Connecticut. He was one of the sax back in my area, in Mystic area, and they were a swing band.
Oh wow.
So
It's a whole other
was,
thing.
That was a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
And that was just tremendous fun. I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know anything about that music at the time.
Wow.
But it was
Be
great.
like a
fun.
gig's a gig.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
And
the
they were
same way.
playing a lot. They were playing a lot, and it was guys I knew and I liked, and so it was it was great fun playing in flat keys because there was a couple of horn players.
Oh
so
boy. Yeah.
playing in A flat and D flat.
Yeah. So you got to rethink. Yeah.
Yeah. I was playing on those guitar bands all those years.
Yeah. E, A.
E and
Yeah.
A. It's good with those.
Wow.
But the A flats were a little tricky. But
So
it was
it's all part of the education.
yeah. So that was great fun playing with them for years. For 3 years, I think I played with them. And that's how I ended up meeting Billy and
Oh, okay.
and Karen and those
So it
guys.
all makes sense.
Because they were in similar circles,
Yeah.
playing similar places.
Yeah.
So that's how I met Karen and Bill and Gary.
Yeah.
They saw me playing with that band, and then they were in Eight to the Bar,
Yep.
and then I did a duo after them for a year, and then while I was in the duo, I was talking to Gary and Bill, and they were thinking of downsizing from Eight to the Bar,
Right.
Because they were traveling a lot.
Sure.
Before
Oh, yeah.
you.
Yeah, right.
And, yeah, you know the gig. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were thinking of downsizing, so they talked to me, and then we started the Cartels. And
Wow. And when was that?
That's 35 years ago now. So yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. But so I remember because me and Gary and Bill are all within a month of each other in age.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we all turned 30 together.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you started the Cartels.
When we started the Cartels.
Wow.
Yeah. So
It's kind of funny. So the thing was like, be a little more local.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, Eight to the Bar was like a road gig.
Yeah, that was a road gig, and they wanted to do more private stuff and cut down the expense thing too, because
Sure.
To the Bar was 7 guys at the time, I
Yeah,
think.
probably. Yeah.
And plus a road crew
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we were doing everything ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and Billy were schlepping the gear, and
Yeah.
and he was driving the truck.
That's funny.
and I was. That's when I started playing left hand bass stuff. Was that
Oh,
band.
wow.
Yeah.
So even from the beginning, you're like bass player optional.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's.
Wow.
Yeah, then when we started the band, it was just me, Bill, Karen, and Gary. That was the whole band.
Wow.
4
No
piece.
guitar player.
No guitar player.
Wow.
No guitar player.
No
And-
strings, no bass, no guitar.
Yeah.
Wow.
Although Billy would bust out a bass guitar.
Yeah, sure. Right.
And then I would play some electric guitar.
Wow.
On some tunes.
Wow.
I had
That's
about
funny.
10 songs I would play.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
You ever feel the urge to bust it out again? Or no?
I do once in a while.
you?
Yeah. I
I've
mean,
never
it's-
so 2 things. Football player, guitar player. Did not know. This is why it's worth it. This is all worth it.
Yeah, I've been. As a matter of fact, I have this guy I'm writing. He sends me lyrics, and I write songs for him.
Yeah.
And I've been playing guitar on a bunch of
that's
stuff
great.
now. Yeah, it's been really fun.
Oh, that's
It's
fun.
been really
I would
fun.
love to
Yeah.
see that. Do it next time, someday. Next
All
time
right.
I play a gig with you
All
guys,
right.
bust it out.
My big number used to be I Fought the Law. I had
Oh,
that,
yeah, sure.
I had that solo.
I love that song. I'm ready.
Yeah. I had it all worked out. Yeah.
I'm ready. Yeah, add it
All
it
right.
to the list. Next time
Okay.
next time we have a gig,
All right.
we'll
I Fought the Law.
yeah,
It's in
I
there.
fought the law.
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's so then I would imagine at some point, guitar player comes, bass
Yeah.
player is like dead last, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. We didn't hire a bass player for years. So, but we figured out pretty quick that without a guitar player,
It just limits your.
yeah, it only worked in certain circumstances. So when we were playing a lot of private functions and stuff,
Yeah.
it worked okay without a guitar. But you play a bar and you don't have a guitar
Yeah.
player, it was tough. It was a tough sell.
Right.
So Tommy was around and he just got off the road with Grayson Hugh
Okay.
and was looking for some work. So he's been So he's been with us ever since. So
Yeah.
that's probably at least 30 years for Tommy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so it didn't take you too long.
No. So the first few years were just the 4 of us, and then
Did you just break a Jon Peckman mug?
no, that was his phone.
Oh, okay. That's fine. You can. Something slipped out of Dave's hand off camera, and I'm like, you didn't break one of my
No,
mugs
one of
with my
these.
face on it, did you?
These are really.
Oh, you
good.
can drop your phone all you want. No. That's funny.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so Tommy's been with us for most of the run.
Yeah. I see.
And he's the only guitar player. Although we did have Bert Teague on a gig.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
On a gig or?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is actually, it's a kind of sad story.
Uh-oh.
So it was an outdoor gig in Granby area with Bert.
Sure.
So we had Bert on guitar, Billy, me, Tom, and also Paul Nigro playing saxophone.
Who I never met, but I've heard all
okay.
about.
Oh, that
Yeah, it was
that would
right
make
before
sense.
my
That's
time.
Before your time.
Yep.
That would make sense. So
But I've heard his name.
yeah, was such a sweet guy, but had some issues. And yeah, so he played with us, but he wasn't looking good. His dad had just passed away.
Oh boy.
And he was kind of out of it on the gig, and he went home and he passed away.
Oh,
that night, yeah.
That night.
yeah.
So he played the last gig.
Yeah. And I only played with him once or twice. Well, maybe that might have been the only gig I ever played with him, actually.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was a really awful one.
Yikes.
Yeah, but yeah, Bert played with us on that too.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Do you ever get to see him?
No, I don't know what's up with
Yeah, I know.
Tim McDonald knows.
Yeah.
To figure it out. It's been a
Rob
while.
and those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
But yes. Oh yeah. So getting back to the band. I'm sorry. So yeah, the band pretty much ever since it's been a nice run. We had multiple guys coming and going. You played with us.
Yep.
You still play with us from time to time.
Yep. Every once in a while.
Wayne June was our drummer for years.
So he was probably after Gary.
Wayne was after Gary. Yeah. So when Gary left, we had some auditions.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Sure.
Wow. Yeah. The guy who wanted to sing Beep Beep. That was the song he wanted to do with the band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Beep beep.
The car went beep beep beep.
When I was driving up.
Yeah. He liked it because it had that gradual speed up.
Yeah,
thing.
and it modulates the key change every time.
That was the song he wanted to do with us. Yeah.
Wow. You were like, yeah, next.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then the other guy that was fantastic was there's two other guys. One guy had like this eucalyptus rub all over him because he had muscle aches or something.
Sure.
But we were in a small studio room and it smelled like
Right, the overwhelming smell of eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus. And then the other guy, he goes, do you guys remember me? No. He goes, well, I was at this party and you guys were playing and I had a little bit to drink and I said I remembered. We used to play this for this group. It was this insurance company and they drank like crazy.
Sure. Who wouldn't?
Yeah. And so anyway, this guy was worked for them or something, and he came up and asked if he could play, and I think we told him it was okay, but he like broke some sticks or something like Gary's, and then came back to apologize, and he fell over the drums.
Awesome. That's
do you
great.
guys remember? And I was like, now we do.
He would have been. Why did he just never should have said anything?
Why did he fess up?
Remember me? Yeah, I'm even drunker now than I was then.
Yeah, it was. Wow. I don't know why he fessed up. Yeah, but
he didn't pass the audition.
He didn't pass the audition.
Was he better drunk?
He was.
Do you remember?
was pretty much the same, if I remember correctly.
Oh man!
It was not, and again, a sweet guy, but yeah,
sure,
but not.
But and then in walks Wayne.
Yeah, and then we managed to get Wayne, and Wayne.
Sure.
Wayne just he
yeah.
swings so great and he sings so
yeah
good.
yeah
Oh my
yeah
gosh.
yeah. Wayne's
You ever
amazing.
you listen to his voiceover?
Oh
stuff?
yeah no Wayne's he's awesome.
Wow, yeah, he's got the voice from that thing. Oh man,
yeah, but great singer too,
and a great singer.
Can do anything.
Those high notes.
Yeah, anything.
Wow,
yeah. When I joined Eight to the Bar, he was the drummer,
right.
so I had to learn the thing with Eight to the Bar. Which is, I guess, any band's like this. So it's not like Eight to the Bar, but it's just funny. It's like when I joined, I had to listen to I had to play everything exactly like Wayne.
Oh,
So I had to listen to everything. That's not the way Wayne plays it. Wayne plays it. You have to play it like Wayne plays it. Like Wayne plays it in order to get the gig.
Yeah.
So then I would become Wayne.
Yeah.
And then over the years, you just slowly become yourself. And then when I quit and we're auditioning drummers, that's not the way John plays it. It's just like, it's a slow thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure whoever, probably Wayne, was like, that's not the way Gary plays it. You gotta play it like Gary.
Yeah.
It's the way it is.
It is. Yeah.
So I studied Wayne to get the gig. I had to learn everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah.
Funny.
Everybody's got their. It's so cool, playing with guys, especially good musicians like yourself and him. Everybody has their own little unique stuff that they
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
It's
No, Wayne's a cool drummer.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, like I
yeah.
said, I learned from because it kind of reminds me of like you were saying the band that you were in. I could, you know, I was okay with a lot of things, but didn't really know the swing thing.
Oh,
like
right,
that
right.
was my,
Yeah.
like, okay, I got to go to school on this.
Yes.
And it was helpful to
Yeah.
listen to Wayne. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because I think we're similar, that Wayne is kind of like I am. He's a rock
He's a
drummer,
rock drummer. Yes.
swinging,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
As opposed to listening to a jazz drummer, which I would have been like, well, I don't know how to.
Right.
So it was
Right.
it was helpful, you know.
Yeah.
It was Wayne. It was helpful to me, and I just did it like he did it.
Oh, okay.
And then kind of
Yeah.
took it from there.
Yeah.
And then the next guy had to do it like I did it, and so on and so on. It's like the telephone game
Yeah.
or
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was so I followed Wayne.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And then I think we went from Wayne right to Pete. I think.
okay,
I think that's right.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's right. And then now it's Corvo pretty much most of the time.
okay,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah. But yeah, it's been nice. It's been a nice run.
cool.
Nice. Still playing a decent,
Yeah.
considering
Yeah.
as much as you can play, and then doing solo stuff, and still getting to play some side stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So you'll play a piano solo. You're like the solo piano guy.
Yeah.
You'll sit there for hours.
Yeah, see, I love that. That gig at the Norton and Spa that I have,
Mhm.
it's just it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just sit down and play the piano.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's like the best.
How long you been doing that gig?
That's been a few years now.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how many, but it stopped for a year, like everything
Sure.
did. But it's back now. Yeah, it's the coolest thing. People, and there's some random stuff that happens there too. Like you'll be playing, and the women will come in their bathrobes from massages and stuff, and they're hanging out. It's really
Awesome.
nice. It's really
Sounds
nice.
great. You need a
And then-
drummer? No, just kidding.
And then somebody will start singing, and sometimes they're okay, but sometimes they're really good. Like
I haven't. Yeah.
like some really, really strong singers, and it's just this spontaneous
Yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
A couple of months ago, I was there, and there was a wedding, and they all came in from the wedding and started singing with me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just great. It was just great, like a party of 20 people.
Yeah.
They all wanted
Great.
to sing. So,
That's cool.
Oh, see, I love that stuff.
When was your first? Did that just happen?
The solo gigs that was an acquired thing too, because I didn't. At first, I was always playing in bands, and
Yeah.
I didn't feel really that confident playing solo.
Huh.
I got a gig at the Keg, I think it was in Hartford. It was this little place on Sisson Avenue,
Yeah, yeah.
and the guy says, "Oh yeah, you can play here. It's $32 a night." He said,
Wow.
I can only give you 32 because the guy who's been playing here for 10 years, he gets 35. And
Oh wow. Yeah, you're not there yet, kid. You know, you gotta. Wow.
so it's $32 plus tips, and it probably gave me a grinder or something, or a beer.
Right,
I can't
right.
remember. But yeah, I started playing there, and then I'm trying to think. I did. Oh, then the Apricots gig. I had the Apricot solo gig for years.
Okay.
So that was when I really started playing a lot of solo piano.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a great experience. That was like a steady Thursday night for a lot of years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And all those piano bar stories,
Yeah,
all that stuff.
Wow.
Crazy, because it's like they'd sit down and they're having drinks and
Yep.
chatting with you while you're playing.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen you do it many
it's
times.
It's
Yeah.
the best. It was the best.
Yeah. So you like
Oh, see, I loved that.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know. Yeah, I love hearing
just
this
playing
stuff.
songs for people? And,
Playing songs for people. Yeah, some people I know don't want to play certain songs.
yeah.
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 But there's almost not a song in the world that I won't
Yeah,
play
right.
or sing
Yeah.
if someone wants it. For
Sure.
me, that's that's
Because
the
it's
thing
a
that
challenge
makes
for you, or you just like making people happy?
me a mix of the two.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
I love that song means something to them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's funny.
yeah. So
I know what you mean.
great.
It's a different shift when you go.
yeah.
you stop thinking about what it adds to you,
Yeah.
as opposed to how can I,
Yeah.
I'm here for these
Yeah.
people and like make it fun for them.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It gives you a different energy. Gives you more.
It
more
is different.
A different thing.
And I mean, I like both. I mean, I used to write a lot of songs, and you
Yeah.
played on my
Yeah, we'll
record.
talk about
and,
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
you played on my record, and I love that too.
Yeah.
But that's a whole, like you said, it's a whole different ballgame.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are fun.
People are really fun.
Yeah.
I had, when I was in this band in my early 20s, we were playing a club in Burlington, Vermont.
Okay.
I remember, and the club owner, he gave me this nice compliment, I guess. He goes, "Joe, you're kind of like, you have like a Walter Cronkite way about you." He
What?
said. Yeah. I'm like 20 years old or something, and he told me I reminded him of Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
And I guess that was, I think that was good. I think it meant that I was kind of like
Trustworthy, I guess.
or something. Yeah. I don't know. It was kind of a weird thing, but I don't know. I guess that's
just the way it is.
It's just the way it is. Yeah.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is. So
He said that, right? Walter Cronkite?
yeah.
Okay.
That's just that's right.
Funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That was his. Are you ready?
Yeah.
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 So you add your solo piano thing to your thing,
The solo
and then
piano
you're
thing.
working all the time.
Then I was working a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a stretch where, I would do at least 200 to 250 gigs a year. Yeah. For years. Yeah.
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 Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You ever have problems with your voice? You must have.
There were some times, especially when I was doing that piano bar, because that was, you'd sing for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
By yourself.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I had a few issues, but not a lot. Not a lot.
Just figured out how to do it.
Yeah. And there
Were you smoking back then? Were we all smoking? Were we smoking?
I never smoked.
You never? Okay, that
I
wasn't
never
you.
smoked.
Okay.
See, for me, that was,
But you were in smoky bars
I was in smoky bars.
for
So
decades.
I was I got plenty of secondhand smoke.
Yeah.
for
No,
sure.
it's Bill Holloman that I should take smoke breaks with. That's who it was.
That's right. It
Yeah.
was Billy
Yeah.
Almond. That's
Yeah.
right. He still does, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he still does.
Yeah, I finally quit. Been
Yeah.
a couple of years.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, it's important. My grandmother who lived with us, she had throat cancer from smoking, and they had to cut out her vocal cords. So
That's not good.
so that was my at home
Right.
no smoking
Right. You were just like,
advertisement with me every
there
day.
it is right there.
Yeah.
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 Huh.
Yeah.
So just banging it out. And you're still doing it.
Still doing
Solo piano gigs.
Yeah, doing solo piano gigs, and doing still occasional studio stuff. So, I mean, see, I love doing that stuff. That was
Yeah.
that was
So let's talk about that. When did you start writing? And
So I was always writing songs like since I was a kid.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I started writing when I was in my teens, and as a matter of fact, the band with Mark Gentilella, we started out as it morphed from being Almond Brothers kind of band to a artsy original band. So like we were trying to be like Genesis or
get
Yes or
stoned
something like
and
that.
stare into the fishbowl.
Yeah. We had a song called the 20-minute song.
Oh yeah.
Which or half-hour long song. Oh, it was called the half-hour long song. That's what it was.
Half-hour long song.
So it was just basically 8 songs.
Were there Roman numerals involved? This
I
is
think there were.
3, movement 3. or whatever.
Probably, yeah. And so it was a bunch of parts put together. So I would write something. The guitar player he was this really interesting guy, and he would write these really funky, wild, strange time signature things.
Yeah.
And then I would write this more straight ahead thing, and then we'd tie them together. And so it was.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we started doing that. Yeah, so I was like 16 or 17 when I was in.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So right out of the gate.
So we were writing then, and then continued. I used to write some songs, and then started doing some commercial work. When I moved to Hartford, when I was in Silverado, that's when I first started doing. Before that, actually. But when I was back home, we had a buddy who had a recording studio, and they were starting to write some jingles for local businesses. So I remember playing and help. I don't know if helped write or just played on this jingle for a car dealer. And then I went to the bank, and as I was going to the bank to cash my first check for a studio gig, the commercial played on the radio right as I walked in. It's like,
you feel like the Fonz.
Yeah.
Like, hey, king of the world.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, so that was really.
Did you tell him? Did you go
I
tell
think
the
I
bank?
probably did. Oh,
that's
yeah,
me, by the way.
yeah.
That's what this is.
I probably did. Yeah. So I did that for a few years, and then when I moved to Hartford, I happened to move across the street from the Tapeworks when they were on Farmington Avenue.
From who? Oh, Tapeworks.
Yeah, when they were on Farmington Avenue in their smaller studio, and I was living in this little efficiency apartment, and I was looking for a place to practice the piano, and I just called around, and called them, and they had a piano there. And I said, "Do you mind if I just come over and practice?" He said, "No, come on over." So that's how I met him, and then
This was Doug.
Yeah, this is Doug.
Back then,
Yeah. And so he let me come in and practice, and he liked me, and we got to chatting, and he started hiring me on a few things.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
then
so funny.
I met Big Al there, as a matter of fact.
Who?
Big Al.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Big Al.
Right, it all makes sense.
And there, and I did some jingle stuff, and then a funny small world thing. I'd been recording with Doug for a couple of years, and then we got to talking about something, and it turns out he had played in a band with my older brother. Remember I told you my older brother played bass guitar?
Yeah.
My first session I ever went to was at Trod Nozzle.
Oh, okay.
And
I
was I don't know, 14 or 15 at
Sure.
the time. My older brother was playing in the band with Doug, and they were recording. They were the guinea pig recording band.
Oh boy.
So the recording class
Yep.
would record this band.
Sure.
And my brother Mark was a bass player, and
that's
Doug
funny.
was a guitar player.
Wow.
Yeah. And we didn't know it for years. We'd been working together for years. And
I took that class.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the 90s. It
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I started working with Doug, and then he would hire me for a bunch of stuff, and then he moved to Maple Avenue.
Yep.
To his bigger studio, and then, we used to do a ton of work there. I did all sorts of cool stuff with him. He used to get these Puerto Rican evangelists.
Okay.
That,
sure.
But they wanted, so some of the stuff they wanted Latin, but then some of the stuff they wanted to sound like Kenny Rogers or Lionel Richie or something.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would be the guy, and I do
like,
tracks for him.
Yeah.
So I do tracks for him, and but it was great for me because then I got to play on some of the Latin stuff too,
Sure.
which I didn't know anything about.
Right.
Like,
So another thing.
That learning thing you're talking about. So that was
Whatever
great.
it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was when I first heard the bass part when they play on the boom boom doo boo doo.
Yeah.
That threw me off.
Never on the one.
Yeah, never on the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
So I met all kinds of cool people through him.
Yep.
And got to.
We made an album over there.
And we made an album over there, and I got to meet Al at the old studio, and then he hired me to play on his Party Favors record that he did at.
Oh wow! Hey, cool. I didn't know that.
In Glastonbury.
Okay.
At the 19, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was a studio in Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was me and your one of your favorite drummers was on that. The guy from NRBQ.
Oh, Tommy.
Yeah.
Way back in. Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yep.
So
I know
it's
what
me
you're talking about.
and Tommy and.
That's wild.
And yeah.
I told my mom I was having you on the show, and she goes, "Oh, I listen to him because she has your CD in her thing." And she's like, "No offense," she's like, "I can't figure out how to get it out, so I just leave it in." I've been listening to your album for years.
Oh, that's funny. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's funny.
Poor thing.
I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to show her how to get it out. I'm just like, no, you're fine. Just leave it on. It's funny. All right. Well, we're getting close to wrapping up. That pretty much takes us to where you are.
Oh, okay.
And here you are.
Here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
So piano gigs, solo gigs.
Yeah. We're fortunate guys, John. We get to play music.
I can't complain.
And like I said, it's been good.
Kind of wild.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've never seen the show? Not really.
No, I've seen it.
Do you know what questions are coming? The wrapping them up questions.
the desert island.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
Food.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. I was trying to think. I was trying to be prepared. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Just to give us an idea of like who you are, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You know,
So
desert island.
So if I only it had to be just one record.
No, it doesn't happen.
Okay. Because I was trying to think about that. I really was.
Yeah.
Because that would be so hard.
I know. I couldn't answer it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but
I was trying to think of like my favorite people, but it wouldn't. And I don't think it could be a song that people were singing, because you would get a little bored with hearing the same sing all the time.
yeah, maybe.
So it'd probably be an instrumental,
Oh,
but like a orchestral thing, or
sure.
or like what was the guy who did Icarus? Paul Winter Consort. You ever listen
Oh,
to
yeah,
him?
yeah. No, I don't know that
Oh,
stuff
I
that
love
well.
that stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Ethereal instrumental stuff.
Cool.
And so something like that probably
Yeah.
be cool. But and then I was thinking of a singer that I would love to listen to, and I was thinking of the girl who plays fiddle and has like the most beautiful voice, and I'm drawing a blank on her name now.
Oh boy, Alison Krauss.
Alison Krauss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
See, I could
Lord.
listen to her.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
I saw her with Robert Plant when
Oh,
they
you
did that
did?
first record.
Oh wow.
It was outrageous. It was
Yeah,
outrageous.
yeah.
It was crazy. It was really, really good.
Oh, that's a great record.
yeah. She's I love her singing. too.
just beautiful.
Yeah, it's
And-
she's like an angel.
Yeah.
The voice of an angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that I could listen to.
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I think I
yeah.
could listen to that.
Yeah, definitely.
And then for a food.
Yeah,
for
food. Yeah. If you had to,
Yeah.
you know.
I think my wife's apple crisp.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that? Are you trying to get in good, or is that
no?
a
It's
legit
I was trying to think.
apple
I like
crisp?
I like waffles too.
Okay, waffles.
But and I like chocolate and
Yeah.
and some other stuff.
So you have a sweet tooth?
Yeah, I do have a bit. Of a
Really?
sweet tooth,
Wow,
yeah.
that's funny.
And yeah, so her apple crisp. It's just
Apple crisp.
absolutely.
I don't know what that is exactly.
It's like apple pie, but no crust. Right. It has instead it has like crumbly like oat
yeah,
like
yeah,
oats
yeah, yeah.
and cinnamon and
Without,
crumbles
yeah.
and stuff.
I think I could. Yeah. Well,
It's
I'll
pretty
I'll
darn-
Google it.
It's
I'll
pretty darn
Google it.
delicious. Yeah.
Apple crisp.
Yeah, apple crisp.
All right. Cool.
That's pretty darn delicious.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to get into?
You can catch me. No.
Oh, yeah, no, please
no,
do.
I can't really
Please
think of
do.
anything to pitch.
The
but I'm
cartels.
out there in the world. The cartels are out there in the world still. You can come see us.
Yep.
We got casino stuff coming up.
Yep.
And I got solo stuff, and I got music on Spotify and
Oh,
all that
okay.
stuff like you. Yeah.
Joe Grieco.
My-
Greico. By the way.
No, it's IE. You know.
Oh.
You got it backwards. Yeah.
Oh.
It gets backwards. It
Oh,
happens all the time.
Damn. Good thing. Don't
It
listen
happens
to me.
all the time.
Oh, it's not going to happen this time. Gotta make
happens,
sure I make it clear.
it happens all the time. And,
Man.
but it's on Spotify and all that
Oh.
stuff, which is nice. And
Okay. Cool.
yeah, it's fun.
Nice. Any
and,
plans for another album, or you don't know? No concrete plans.
No concrete plans, but
You
I
made
have-
like an album's worth of posts during the lockdown. That was
did
awesome.
A lot. I'm trying to.
That's
I
cool.
might do some of that because some of the ones I did actually productions too. I made like put together a little compilation of those and put that out in the world.
Yeah. Why
That's
not?
fun. I found some actually cool songs some people requested that I hadn't heard that were really fun.
Yep.
And it just I actually kind of enjoyed that. I have
Does
to
it
admit.
bother you? This bothers me. Sometimes I think about it. I go, so let me get this straight. Billy Joel did what you do for a year, and he's the piano man.
He's the
like,
piano man.
like he does this thing
Yeah.
for like a year, and then he becomes a piano. You are the piano man. Like you've been doing this for years and years and years.
Yeah.
You think Billy Joel's a poser? Like when you think about it. That would always bother me. I would go, like you think you're Mr. Piano Man. Dude, you were there for a year. And he's still talking about it. Joe Grieco's doing it tonight somewhere, right now. You know?
But he articulated it.
Sure, I guess. Yeah, I
and
guess
put
so.
it out there. Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming. I don't know what it's doing outside in case this will probably be on within a week, but there's supposed to be a big storm now. That's what we're dealing with. And Joe came from came all the way from like
Mystic,
Mystic to be here. So
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
No, it was fun.
Why not? It's
always
fun.
good to talk
It's
to you.
always fun. It's always fun. Come back anytime, obviously, and I'll see you at a gig, I'm sure, somewhere down the
I
line.
hope so. I hope so.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Joe Grieco, I-E.
I-E.
I before E.
I before E. That's
Got it.
correct.
Joe Grieco, thanks for being here.
Oh, thanks.
I appreciate it. I'm going to press the button. The music's going to come on.
All
I
right.
don't want to upset you. Here it
No,
comes.
that's okay.
All right.
Good.
There we go. Jon Peckman Podcast. Coming to you from the podcast studio of Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance in beautiful downtown Portland. Come across the bridge looking left. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Hit the alert, hit the bell so you can get the alert. And listen, and Dave will tell you how you can have your very own podcast right here in our studio. Thanks for listening, kids. That is all.
Okay.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.